All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the ninth episode of the Final Circle podcast. We're almost at 10, which is great. So I want to say thank you to all you guys who have been listening to the podcast and showing your support. There's a couple things I want to talk about before we get into this episode. A few things. So I'll start with first that we had some issues while we were recording this. So my audio came out a lot lower than I expected. So please just bear with us. We're going to fix this for the next episode, but you might have to turn it up a little bit when I'm talking and maybe turn it down when Andrew and the guest are talking. Just kind of an issue we had because we were doing it over Skype, and Matt didn't have like his own microphone, so we were kind of just making do with what we got. So please bear with us and we'll fix it for next time. Second, that leads me in to we have a special episode for you guys because we have our second guest on the podcast, and that is our friend in real life, and that's Matt, and his gamer tag is Box of Ducks. I'm sure you guys might recognize him from the stream or from Xbox. We also do duo queue a lot while I'm streaming. He's in the stream as well a lot of times when he's at work or when he's not gaming. He's either under his real name, which is Matt, or sometimes he's under the YouTube alias as Bob Hogan. So if you've seen that guy chatting around, this is him. And Andrew and I, Cypher5 and I, we've been friends with Matt for, I guess, 15 to 20 years. Which is kind of crazy to say at this point because we're getting older now, but we've been gaming and hanging out for a really long time. And obviously, you know, video games brings a lot of people together. And honestly, as we've gotten older, we've kind of moved around the country. Now Matt is living in Tennessee. So through Xbox and Xbox Live, we've actually kind of maintained our friendship because we get online at night. And I'm sure you guys might do the same thing. And if you haven't, it's pretty common after, you know, high school and college when people move away to kind of, you meet up at night and game. And that's one of the best parts about, you know, being a gamer. And it's a nice hobby to kind of catch up with your old friends, especially when you're not living near one another. So that's awesome. We talked about everything under the sun. We talked about video games. We covered like the full spectrum. We also talked about paintball, airsoft, and just a bunch of life stuff. And honestly, some things got a little bit personal, I guess. We were talking about some of the stuff growing up. We also dropped some names, so I had to kind of cut some things out here because I didn't want people's full names to be in the podcast. And we also got a little crazy at some point. So there's a few things edited out. I didn't get too crazy with the editing. I wanted to leave it in raw, but just so you guys are aware of that stuff. And with that being said, I also wanted to say that a lot of you guys who are listening to this are probably from the stream or from the channel. And normally the YouTube page is very PG. I keep the stream kind of PG-13 if you want to use like those kind of movie ratings for how we do the channel and the stream. And on that spectrum, the podcast is definitely more unfiltered and or less filtered, and this is definitely more of like an R rating if you want to give it that kind of rating. So just be aware of that if you guys are listening to a car in your office or in an open space, or for any younger people in the who are listening to the podcast, just be aware that this is definitely less filtered and or less censored, if you want to call it that. And with that being said, the final thing I wanted to mention here is that I finally set up a Teespring store for the YouTube channel and for the podcast, putting out some kind of PUBG related merchandise, Blitz 5 stuff, and also stuff for the Final Circle. So definitely give that a check out if you guys are interested in purchasing anything. I've tried to make all of the prices low and definitely not trying to stiff anybody. They give you recommended price and I try to go underneath that. And all of the proceeds from purchasing anything on the store go directly back into the channel and really right now into the podcast, because we are spending money on a monthly basis to keep the podcast up and running, to host it and to send it to Google Play and to iTunes. So anything you purchase will really go into keeping this podcast afloat, and your support is obviously very appreciated, and we're very grateful for everybody that has been supporting us on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So again, big thank you to you guys. Definitely check that out. I'll have more stuff on the store very soon, and I think that pretty much covers everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll get right into it. Yeah,
I'd send like the victory today.
Yeah, a full send. Yeah, we'll just get right into the conversation. So, do you have that story, Matt, of why you have your gamer tag as Box of Ducks? Is there even
Box
a
of
reason
Ducks.
behind that?
There is a reason behind that. Because when the group of all of us, the names Zungri, Curtis, all of them, used to say, "Go get it."
Your crew
My
back in.
crew
Yeah. Okay.
used to say, "Go get a box of Dutches," so we can do some illegal activities, and it turned into go get a box of
That's
ducks.
right. You were just telling me this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then go get a box of ducks. That's how that got started.
Okay, and to keep that like PC or and explain that to everybody else. So like a Dutchess is like the cigars that you get at like a gas station, right? Or like 7-Eleven or something like that. And for anybody that's involved in the illegal, or in some places now legal activities in the U.S., that's the cigars that you would unroll, right? You break them down, and then you would put
Breaking Dutch, yeah.
marijuana in, and then you would roll it back up, and then you have a blunt, right?
That's correct.
There you go. So for anybody else that's younger out there, that's the story and definition behind a blunt. And now that's legal in some areas, right? But you know what's funny is I don't know if they actually sell those like legally now. Is that like a thing you can buy? I know you can buy like joints.
You can
and stuff
buy
like
pre-rolled.
that.
Yeah, you can buy
A
pre-rolled blunts.
blunt if you're in like Washington. How many states is weed legal in now in the U.S.? Do you know?
Oh, I want to say it's almost double digits.
Wow. Let me see. Weed legalized states. But yeah, it's got to be.
You were talking about Dutch Masters. I was like, those are legal.
No, those are legal. Those only cost a couple dollars in the U.S. normally.
It's like the worst cigars on the planet.
10 states.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So we got Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, Alaska, Colorado, Michigan, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maine.
Alaska. Wow.
I didn't know Maine was. I knew Massachusetts.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of medical, but that's for recreational use, or those 10.
Wow, I didn't even know Michigan was on that list, honestly. That's kind of crazy.
Moving to Michigan.
Yeah. They're just like, you know what? Just do it.
Just do it.
Wow. That's nuts, man. And obviously that's not exactly the point of the podcast, but we can talk about whatever on here. We're just hanging out today, recording it. And I think we're going to talk a lot about PUBG. I mean, we've been playing together a lot, and I'll have done an intro for Matt right now, but you guys will definitely recognize him from the stream and from the YouTube channel. I mean, you have a couple different aliases. I don't want to blow up your whole name, but he's on YouTube as Matt and also Bob Hogan. And isn't there like one more? I don't really remember.
That's my normal name.
Yeah, your normal name. I thought there was like 3, but I guess there's 2. And then as
2.
he just explained, he's on Xbox at Box of Ducks. And then, of course, there's me, Blitz5, and Andrew, who is Cypher5. And we've been playing Xbox. I mean, the first guest we had was Tom, Kyrie the Great. We've been playing Xbox forever. I mean, and same thing with us. I mean, we all grew up in the same town. We've been playing video games together for as long as I can remember, honestly, as soon as Xbox Live came out, really. And even before then, we probably played before Xbox Live existed at like another friend's house, right?
Yeah, GoldenEye, Mario Kart.
Yeah, totally, like at Connor's house or something like that, right? Even before then. Which is kind of crazy to think about because today, Box of Ducks and I, as of today is January 15, 2019, we were playing duos today, and we had some awesome duo wins, and we had that money game. Andrew, I don't think you were there for that, but that was honestly one of the best games we've had. Like probably the most rewarding game I've had all week, honestly, because I've been playing pretty bad. I guess it's only Tuesday, but if you go back even to like Thursday, Friday, I wasn't playing that well.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we had some okay games, like almost appearing into it. Then we got Sir Drums in the match. So it was me, Box of Ducks, and Sir Drums, right? Us 3 were playing. Matt, was that you were in that match, right? Yeah. So it was Sir Drums, and then we got second place, dude, and we should have won. We didn't know it, but it was basically like
I was there for that.
Yeah. It was like a 3v2. We didn't really know it. I got stuck on a wall, then Matt got stuck up against a pole, and then Sir Drums forgot to reload, and like the worst case scenario happened in like every instance. It was honestly ridiculous. And yeah, it was crazy. That was just a joke. So then after that, everyone was like super bummed, and John Green in the chat, shout out to John Green, goes, dude, if you win the next game, I'll give you $20 right now. So I was like,
so I left just then. I had like a meeting. I was like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I didn't think you guys were gonna get it. Did you actually pull it off?
Yeah. So I was so mad. I'm like, dude, I'm F this. Like, I'm not going to check the chat. I'm not going to be talking the whole time. So like me and Matt just played super strategic, dude. We even like attempted the hot drop, and really no one was like next to us where we were at Camp Charlie. And we were in the worst spot. Like we were getting pinched. We were stuck in the blue zone. We had no loot. We were like always half health. And we ended up just making it through the whole way, dude. We ended up winning. It was honestly insane. I had 10 kills. Matt had 1 kill, but he did so much like damage and like shouting out everybody's location and like suppressing enemies. So it really felt like we had so many kills, and it was just crazy. And then John Green followed up on his word and threw in the donation. So I told Matt I owe him a couple beers now when I get down to Tennessee.
That's
because
too
that was
funny.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He must have been like, oh my God.
Yeah, but I think
they're gonna do
the odds of that.
Yeah, honestly, it was intense because we were pulling into like the final circle, and it was right at the water, man. And it's a spot that like you would definitely know. I just don't know how to describe it on the map. It's like where all the 3 islands kind of intersect. We always go through there where there's like the real bridge and the land bridge. that like area like that. You
You
always have
always
to.
die.
You always
The
have to
back
cross
of
that
boot
area.
camp.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
always die over there, man. And we were like totally screwed. I don't know how we came out, and then out of nowhere, it just was 2v2, and we were like, "Oh my god, so
And the
close."
play zone killed the other guy, and then I was like, that was a bummer, but
Oh yeah, yeah. The play zone got one of them because I had knocked him, and then he was like reviving himself, and I think he knew he was in a bad spot, so they didn't really have
Yeah.
any options left.
I feel like that's so many situations in PUBG when you're like just getting into the circle all the time and you end up winning. It's kind of crazy. I feel like those situations come out more positively than the ones where like you land and you have a ton of loot and you're like strapped to the tits.
Yeah,
And then you, but like the other times where you have like an ump and like a shotgun and you're just getting into a circle and you have like one first aid kit. It's like you end
totally.
up winning with the first aid kit and the ump.
Yeah, I feel like it's because you're like on the move and you're not like when you sit there and you're like it's the same thing when you're like camping in a corner and then someone comes around the corner doesn't even see you and then they end up killing you, you know, because you're like not warmed up. Like when you're constantly on the run, you're kind of like ready for action and you catch people off guard. I feel like I don't know. What do you think, Matt? You think it's something like that?
I mean, we were literally just we didn't really have any room to stop and look around. We just got blue zone the whole time. We're just on a constant sprint, so we didn't really stop at all.
Yeah.
Only to like engage people. But I don't know. I feel like if you're laying in the middle of the circle and you're in good position, so many people have to come to the circle that they can come from anywhere. So you're just you get kind of sandwiched.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hate
it's
being
true.
center circle.
Yeah, I know. It honestly is like it's one of the worst things you could do. I think at this point, like you wouldn't think so, but if you're trying to win a game, being in the center, you're normally just going to get screwed. You really need to time how when you move in and how close you are to the circle and all that stuff. So it is what it is. And
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Wait, did you win 2 games in a row too, or is it just the one?
No, just that. And then after that, me and Matt played duos for a little bit, and we actually had a bunch of good games. Like we placed top 10 in duos.
Got stuck
after
behind the
that.
tractor.
Um, yeah. We had a crazy match in Miramar too, and we just got in a car and we parked right in the center of the circle because we had to get in. The circle moved and it was like one of the last circles, and it was so far away from us and there were so many people in front of us. I was like, Matt, let's just get in the truck, and we drove across and we ended up in the middle, exactly where you don't want to be. And we were surviving. We were throwing smokes everywhere, and eventually we got like taken out. But we took some people with us though,
Yeah.
which was good. And yeah, and then me and Matt were talking about, I wanted to hear Matt's opinion on playing Vikendi and stuff like that. You said you didn't really play it that much though, right, Matt?
I played a good amount in the beginning, and then it just got to where you're running into so many problems with the map that it just didn't make it fun to play. Like some spots you couldn't even land at because you'd fall through the map and be stuck. So
Yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't play enough to really like find all those spots.
I think there's like
Even
2 that I came across.
I think one was like the not the Dino Park,
The
but, like,
castle.
the castle for sure.
Yeah.
And then the rocket, where the rocket like the missile base is
Oh,
from.
the Cosmodrome or whatever.
Yeah. I think even for me with the Xbox One X, the first time I played, I think we played like me and you, Matt, played with Wendell at like 2 a.m. that one night.
Yeah, when it came out.
Yeah, and I remember I landed and I was like, everything was Play-Doh, and I was like, oh god. And that's when I moved it to the SSD. That like right after that, I was like, all right, let me put this on the SSD, because that was even when I was struggling to load into the game, and Wendell went through the map.
Wow, yeah,
Wendell just like disappeared, and then he came back up like he was on an escalator. That's kind of funny.
That's crazy. When we were playing today, someone got stuck. We saw a person get stuck in paradise, and he was just stuck in. I don't know who killed him. I think it might have been you, Matt. Like someone
you
just shot
did.
him. I didn't do it. I thought it was Sir Drums. It wasn't me. I don't think.
Oh, okay. I think it was one of you. It wasn't me, but yeah, he was stuck
Okay.
halfway in the floor.
Yeah, you could just see his head like bobbing out of the floor. The guy was completely screwed. I haven't seen that in a while, and I guess that's why the map is coming out next week and not like now, because it was supposed to come. It should have been out earlier, really, if they were going off the timing with PC and stuff. But
they probably have a lot of. I think they run into so many issues, and they're just like, how do we handle all this? And they're like, man.
yeah,
They can't even fix the issues they have. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, the
little
menu
ridiculous.
issues.
yeah, but it's still a really fun game. I think I asked you, but I forget what you said, Matt. Are you gonna consider getting the Survivor Pass, or are you just gonna you don't care about that stuff?
I mean, I got the first one. If the second one is, it would have to be better than the first one, because the first one was kind of weak.
It is.
So,
It's gonna be more stuff. It's for 2 months now. It's for 70 days. The first one was just for 30 days. I think it was like for 4 weeks of like missions. So now it's kind of the same thing though, but there's just a lot more stuff. There's like triple the amount of stuff really.
yeah, I'd probably get it. I mean, it's $10. I mean, it's $10.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, especially because the game is only like $30. I'm 100% going to be getting it for the stream, but I know some people are kind of like on the fence about it. So I figured I would just ask.
Yeah, I mean, $10 is doable. It's not like over, for 60 days. For 30 days, it was kind of BS, but 60 days is a lot better.
Yeah, especially because for Fortnite too, man. Fortnite is $10 for 2 months for 60 days, and then I've never done it before, but there's apparently some way where you can like earn enough credits to buy like the next 60 days pass for free, and PUBG's not up until the point where like they're doing a pass every 2 months or something like that. So that's not even like an option, but that would be nice in the future if like you could do something like that and carry it over if you like had a high enough rank or something like that.
Yeah, I think hopefully they stop making maps in all honesty and they just fix the issues they have and just work on like passes, stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. I mean, eventually I think they're probably going to add a fifth map, but I agree with you. I mean, that's not needed right now.
Yeah.
What they need is like
go a while
yeah,
without it.
Yeah, they need to improve the game like frames per second on Xbox, and they can't have people like stuck in floors on a regular basis, if they want to like step the game up. I mean, once in a while that happens in every game, Call of Duty included. Like I'm sure it happens all over the place, but like not that frequent though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, playing Blackout the other night, there's a lot of issues in Blackout too. I've noticed. So it's just like a battle royale issue.
Yeah, I think when you're making a game that big, it's just is what it is.
But like, see, Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite. There's so much more going on in Fortnite than PUBG, and it runs so much smoother, which I don't get.
Yeah,
I think they've dialed back the graphics so much that it's just they don't have the detail. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're building and all that stuff, but I wonder.
I really think it's the cartoon. I think it's the cartoon graphics too. Yeah, because it's like cell shaded.
Yeah, like PUBG, you could see your shadow and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't turn it off. Fortnite, you're hip firing.
They might have some options. Like, I mean, there might be shadows in Fortnite and stuff, but you can just tell like that. I mean, PUBG, while it doesn't look good, at least they're like attempting to make grass. Like in Fortnite, it's like someone just drew like a little like line, like
a 12-year-old.
Yeah, it looks like someone's a coloring book.
Exactly, it looks like a coloring book, which is fine, and it's smart that they did that. But it's just totally different. Even with Blackout, man, when you play Blackout, it doesn't look to me like regular Call of Duty. When you're driving in that ATV and stuff, everything gets so blurry and like looks so cartoony. At least in my opinion, you could tell that they had to go that route just to get Blackout to work. Too, they had to tone down the graphics and stuff like that.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up when I'm in the back of the on the back of the.
Everything gets super blurry and it's like it's very weird.
Yeah, it's just not good quality in that. But I mean, I think that's just an issue until they can optimize or newer systems come out.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely thought I was gonna play Blackout a lot or Black Ops a lot more than what I did.
Same. Man. What did you think about that? Like, what did you think about the multiplayer and like Blackout and everything? And have you been playing it at all recently? I haven't seen you.
I haven't been playing since we stopped playing, and I just feel like they just threw it together just to get a game out there. Like it's nothing special. I'm glad they kind of took back the like jetpacks and running on walls and stuff, but it's still not to what it used to be like, where it's just like skill takes over the game instead of everything else that's in the game.
Yeah, you mean all like the specialist abilities and stuff
all the
like
specials,
that?
Yeah.
Well, what did you think of like? What did you like? I don't really know how to phrase this because I don't want to just make it like, did you like the regular multiplayer better than Blackout? But like, can you break it down? Like, what did you think? Just like the regular multiplayer just got boring to you, or do you like the specialist? And then I thought Blackout. To me, I thought Black Ops. I guess I'll just say my opinion just to like make it relevant to the conversation. Like Black Ops 4 multiplayer is so much fun. The specialist I could live without, but I get it. But to me, it's just like it needs something like different to be like super different or like original, back to old school Call of Duty for me to stick around. And then Blackout worked for me, but it's just not as intense as PUBG. That's why I keep saying that on stream. But to me, I mean, dude, we've been playing Call of Duty. I remember being in college playing with you two and other people. We would play hours of Call of Duty, man. And I missed playing Call of Duty multiplayer, but with all the specialists and stuff, it's not the same game anymore. And it's I feel
like the new one lost its competitiveness with like World at War not World at War, World War II when they brought that out, that was kind of like MLG based setup, like
The smaller maps.
three ways you could go, and it took like kind of skill. And this one is just like there's so much stuff to do and choose from that it doesn't make it like you're the best player because somebody can freeze you with the little taser drone, and it's just stuff like that that makes it not competitive nor fun.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's actually a good point, man, because you might say like some of those maps are basic. So this is an old school thing. If you and anybody listening doesn't know this, so this is like actually what made Call of Duty really popular is that like Call of Duty is famous in the old school games for making a 3-lane map. And what Matt was referring to is in what was it called? World War II.
World War II.
In World War II, they went back to that where like the map really had 3 lanes where it would have like a center. You could go left, you can go right. And obviously there's areas where like people can peek you and flank you. But for the most part, that's what it is. And there's really nothing that crazy that's going to happen. And while that might seem like really simple and basic and kind of dumbed down, it does make it, like you're saying, it's more strategy based because like, okay, we need to hold this position and they're going to go this way. When like in that map, you're right, dude, you could be standing somewhere. There's like a drone flying behind you. There's a thing. There's like people are coming from a trap door below you. And you're like, come on, dude. Like you really can't hold like a position that well in certain areas, which is like kind of frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, Black Ops 4 definitely is three alley-ish, but not, it definitely has like those weird nuances to the map where you could like go underwater and you end up here and all that crap. But
but they definitely did you right. It is more 3 than like say the other games or like Ghost or
Ghost was so bad.
The worst, yeah.
You usually get shot from like everywhere. Yeah. Actually, I don't like the water at all, man. The water dynamic is so weird in Call of Duty where you can like shoot in the water, especially after playing PUBG. Like as soon as I think of water, I'm like, I can't shoot, and then like I forget about it.
Yeah, people are shooting out of the water in Black Ops or Blackout too. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Do you think like they should change like the water gameplay in PUBG, like how like you can't shoot at all or something like that when you're swimming? Or do you think that's like fair or realistic? I guess that they have it that way.
I think they need to change where if you're underwater, you can see everyone else underwater. You know what I mean? So if you have a squad behind you in front of you, they need to make like depth perception a little cloudy. So maybe you see like 10 feet, but not the whole entire river that you're in.
Because you can't see pretty far, you're saying?
Yeah, in PUBG, you can see everybody underwater once you go underwater.
That's so true, dude. That's actually a really good point.
You can. It's like you're in the Bahamas.
Yeah, true. And you're like in Erangel and Sanak, where it'd probably be like some dirty water sometimes. But that's so true, man. As soon as someone goes in the water, you can see them like across the whole area, and you're like, oh, I know exactly. And you can see exactly where they're swimming to.
Yeah.
You can see like out of the water, I think, on land and see where people are, can't you?
No. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I think you can, especially when you're close
you
to
can.
you can when you're close to the beach. That's actually a really good point. And Matt had a good point today saying how like when you're in the blue zone, when you're running in the blue zone, it's actually pretty easy to see people that aren't in the blue zone, and we've been dying to a lot of people in the blue zone, really. And Matt was saying that if you're in the blue zone, they should make it really hard to see out of the blue zone, but that we can see easier into the blue zone. And I think that would maybe be hard for them to do because like they want to make the blue zone really, it's coming, but maybe they should just make it they should make it really hard to see if you're in the blue zone though. Cause that's not fair, dude. You're outside the blue zone and you're just like running around. I mean, unless they want to keep that as part of the strategy, but to me that's kind of frustrating when people do that.
Yeah, I agree. It is kind of like a weird nuance to the game that they didn't really think of, I feel like.
Yeah. Keep going.
Nothing as bad as getting shot from someone that's sitting outside the blue zone.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know if you're listening to this, people probably be like, dude, you just need to play more like strategic. But I don't know. There's times when like it's just so hard to see because of the lightning bolts. Like you could easily miss somebody like running across the blue zone, and then you think you're safe, and then you get killed, and that kind of stuff is kind of lame.
I mean, we've even gotten killed like minutes past the blue zone. Like once we're in the blue zone, it's already going to the next blue zone or next circle. Like people just heal up and take painkillers, and it'll be like 2 minutes, and then you're getting shot from behind when you just cleared that area. So it's just like, yeah, they need to change that up a little bit, I believe.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. I think that would be for the better. And like that is such a weird strategy if you're sitting there for like an hour, or you could even be like super bad and you're just sitting there reviving and like not moving fast enough.
Or do you think they're just like running back out into the blue zone to go around or something like that?
Well, I know people do that. Like that happened to us. That was a crazy strategy. The guy flanked behind me in that one game I was playing in the blue zone, and I thought that was aggressive. I mean, it was like high risk, high reward play, but it's just something that I feel like once you enter in the blue zone, you shouldn't be able to see as much because it's just like being in the water. You can see, you almost have an advantage being in the blue zone if you're really close to not being in the blue zone than someone does. Like you have an advantage almost over that person, and you shouldn't because you're misplayed the game by being in the blue zone in the first place. So
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
It's just kind of weird. And then I was thinking, like, if they ever were to do a new map, this is kind of, sorry, I'm like kind of floating around different topics here, but I was like, if they ever were to do a map that was more water-based, which I think would be really cool because most of the maps are islands, and there's really not a map where there's really no point. You never have to take a boat anywhere, really. You only have to do it occasionally, like on Aaron Golf, like the circle is weird and you're trying to get from like military base or like across. But even then you can just swim. But it would be cool for a map where like boats were more like part of the game or more prevalent. But then I feel like they would have to switch some of the swimming mechanics and like shooting because then no one would want to swim if you had to. But I don't know. That's kind of like out there. It's kind of a weird shot, a weird idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah. I get it.
Yeah, it's a little out there. And I was saving this topic. Matt, you still here? I want to make sure you didn't get disconnected.
I keep moving my controller.
That's cool. I was just checking. So I was saving this topic we were talking about this a while ago, but we never brought it up on the podcast. And we were talking about what if Halo, because there's talks about the new Halo coming out soon, like next year, I think, or maybe the year after. But I know they're working on the new Halo. And we were saying that, what would you think if Halo did a battle royale? Because me and Andrew were saying, just personally, I feel like we were out somewhere talking about it one day, that like it's pretty much made for like battle royale because of the shields. You wouldn't need to really get armor already. You already have like a shield, and some of the weapons and stuff like that are perfect, like the battle rifle, the sniper, all that stuff. I just wanted to see if you had any opinion on that.
I mean, I'd probably like it because I'm a big fan of Destiny Online, so I like the way the gameplay is on Destiny. So that kind of falls into Halo aspect of that. But I mean, it could probably be good. It would have to be. It wouldn't be like original Halo where like whoever got the sword, was OP and all of that. But I think they could make it potentially better with warthogs and stuff. I think it would be pretty cool with banshees and it'd probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the banshees. That would be pretty sick. There's also like the tanks. There's a lot of vehicles in that game. That would be pretty sick. The Ghost.
Yeah. It is kind of like weird to think about because it's pretty simple, I feel like, for them to do. Like they don't really have to change a lot of aspects of the game, like the armor or anything like that. They just literally need to sprinkle weapons all over the map and just use the same armor level as every other game and just throw you in the map. You know what I mean? Like that's
for sure. They would have like the least amount of work to do. Yeah, compared to every other game that had to like Call of Duty had to add in like a whole armor system. That's so true.
Yeah.
And
like
some of the maps. Simple. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say. My bad.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say that latest Halos. They weren't as successful as like Halo 2, correct?
No, they've been going pretty much downhill. I mean, I think Halo 3 was pretty successful, but after that, it's been like downhill. Yeah.
I think 5 was more successful than 4, was it not?
I think Halo 5 might have been more successful than 4, yeah. But then Tom was telling us that they actually like gave up on all the Halos, like the pro leagues and stuff like that. And they're playing professional Halo 3 now. So they actually went back to 3, which is so weird to me. Why go that far back? I don't get why they would do that.
I think Halo, the professional Halo, is having a lot of issues in general. So I think we should stricken it from the record at this point. I think they just have some weird issues that beyond the fact that they can't figure out which game to play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
what's crazy is, and this is nuts. And Matt kind of brought it up that like he liked the old Halos. Is that the Halo 3 was made by Bungie, and I think that might have been one of the last ones that was made by Bungie, and then it got sold to 343 Studios. And honestly, and Matt brought up Destiny too, and you can tell Bungie's been making Destiny, and I mean, come on, how close is Destiny to Halo? It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that's crazy. I don't want to say I feel bad because I don't know like what happened, but it sucks that Bungie lost the rights to Halo or that they sold it off because I feel like they could have been doing so good with that game. And now that I don't know, it's just different. Who knows if Halo will ever come back with 343? And then ironically, Bungie, who was bought by Activision, Activision bought Bungie, and that's where they were producing or developing Destiny out of, and they just split. So I know you used to be really into Destiny, Matt, but they just split. So now Bungie's going to produce Destiny on their own now, and now people are wondering like, what's the future of Destiny going to be like? Is there going to be like a Destiny 3, and what's going on with Halo now? And And now that they're not part of the same company, like, are they going to try to get back with like 343 and like work on Halo? There's all these like weird theories I saw online about like stuff. So,
Well, there's definitely going to be a Destiny 3 because Destiny 2 is not a 10-year game, nor was Destiny 1. So,
dude, and people love Destiny. I told you our buddy's playing it a lot, and I totally skipped Destiny 2. Did you play that, Matt?
Yeah, I played it just to beat campaign and everything, and I played it for a good couple months, but then it's like the same thing. It's like a Borderlands, it just gets so repetitive. And then all my friends that I played with didn't play online, and I liked online, so just lost its umph.
Oh, I didn't even know you had Destiny 2, dude. I skipped that game.
I remember you playing that, I think.
Yeah.
That was like in October of last year, I think it came out, right?
Yeah, just Google it. It came out September 6th, 2017.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's not 2 years, almost a year and a half ago now, or something. I like the first Destiny. I think what I came to is like I realized I spent like one day I was like just playing the game by myself, and I realized I spent 2 hours collecting Spirit Bloom so I can get a better helmet. And I was like, I can't. I was like, what the hell? And I wasn't even close to getting the helmet I wanted, so it was just I was like, I can't do this. Like
yeah,
Spirit Bloom.
I know. Remember that? There was that like silver thing. Was that Spirit Bloom that you always had to get?
Oh, spin metal.
Oh my god, dude, spin metal. Yeah, they and same thing with the Division, man. These games are. I was saying it on stream, so like it's weird because I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit. But like these games are so sick, and they're so much fun to play with you guys and like co-op. But then they just get like they turn into this like crazy grind fest. I just don't want to be a part of, man. Like the missions and stuff, I enjoy.
Yeah.
But at this point, like. It's also frustrating playing a game where whoever is rewarded is like the person spending the most time, right? Like,
they don't have a reward for the best player anymore. It's just grinding, and getting the best gear, regardless whether you're good or you suck. You still get the same amount as everybody else. It's
it's just time. They just equate it to time.
Yeah.
And the Division was such an awesome game to play on like co-op. It just was like all of a sudden done, and the Dark Zone or whatever they made, it just wasn't fun.
Yeah, because again, if someone played for like days and days and days, then if you went to the Dark Zone, you couldn't compete against these people who like had hundreds of hours played in the game. And then to keep going, you had to play in the Dark Zone, which was like the PvP area in the Division. And, it just like ruins the game, man, and I just hate that they do that. And I miss the days. I think me and Tom were talking about this, Kyrie the Great, like that, and Halo 2, dude. When like you had your rank, and like when you played, when you won, it went up. When you lost, it went down, and like stuff like that is fun. If they can incorporate that into the game, I feel like.
So I know you don't really play, but Dennis and we played a couple times. But I still play Rainbow Six Siege a lot, and that's the same concept. Whether when you die, you lose like. If you lose one, you lose a rank, but if you win 3, you won't go up a rank. You know what I mean? It takes like winning and being good at it to actually level up and being stuck with like players. But I still play Siege a lot because it's really competitive.
Yeah, what's crazy? That game made like a huge, insane comeback. Like it came out, it just did okay, and then it blew up. And now I still see, it's huge now. And I saw you playing it the other day, and I was going to ask you about it, but I forgot. So what is that game like? I never played it. It's sick. I've seen some footage of it.
It's kind of like, not even really like, I can't even say Counter-Strike, but it's just I believe it's 5v5, and you have your players have special perks, but it's nothing that's like too crazy to overpower the other one. And you kind of work together to get an objective, whether it's capture the hostage or defuse a bomb or plant a bomb or capture the zone. And that's like the best. So you have like different players that they have different attributes. But it's nothing crazy like OP that will tilt the game completely in one end, because there's always a defender that can counter the attackers, special or vice versa.
Yeah, do you find like if you play by yourself that you're like at a disadvantage because you need to like it's a lot of communication, or you can kind of get by without like partying up with people?
I mean, you can get by, but it's not nearly as successful as you would if you were to play with a team, because with a team like you can tell like you lay your special here and I can lay mine here, and you know what I mean. It's just like if you're not in a party, it doesn't really work out.
I remember playing that a lot with like Rob for a while. I want to pick
game,
it back
like
up.
that specific game.
Yeah, because like he said, like Matt says, like there's like a lot of countering for the defender and the attacker. Like I think one guy's thing is like literally he could put stuff into a wall and it shoots grenades in, and then another guy's thing is like it shoots
Diffuses.
like down diffuse. Yeah, it shoots
Yeah,
down
diffuses
grenades.
the grenades. Yeah,
Yeah,
as a
so, like,
defender.
so it's really balanced like that. But
That's cool.
I was kind of wondering like if I went back in, like I haven't played in probably a year, like if I went back in and played it now, like would I be like at a terrible disadvantage?
No, it's definitely the same advantage. It's just that they have new players that have came out. So if you're not up to date on getting the gamer points or gamer coins to unlock those players, like you wouldn't have those new players, but it's nothing that would make you lose way more because you're not using those characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's basically
That makes
just it's like a 95% skill game. You know what I mean? It's not a run and gun. It's kind of like sit and wait and strategic. It's way more strategic than just run and gun.
Yeah. It is definitely a tough game too, like because I remember playing a couple times, and if the team was really good, you're like, oh my god,
You're beat.
Yeah, they're like hanging upside down from the windows and just like shooting in. You're like, what? Where did I just die from?
Yeah, I missed that. I remember you could rappel. I mean, I'm sure we probably played Matt back in the day, but playing Rainbow Six, I used to play with our buddy Connor and a lot of people Rainbow Six back in the day. That was such a great game. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That was Vegas too, right?
Yeah,
Or
Vegas too. Yeah, I'm sure we played that. There was Vegas and Vegas too. I'm sure we all played that together back then at some point.
Yeah.
And I was actually laughing about that the other day, man. I think we might have brought this up in another podcast, so I apologize if I did. But do you guys remember, dude, on 360, one of the Vegases, like Vegas 1 or Vegas 2, you could get like a webcam or take a picture of yourself, and you could put your face
on the body.
Rainbow Six body. I remember our buddy Connor had his face on with like his like neck beard at the time, and he'd be like running around with his like glasses on. And
Way ahead of its time.
Dude, honestly, yeah. What happened to those kind of things, dude? How funny would that be if you could put your face in PUBG? Oh my god, that would be so funny, dude. I
think that would be great. Yeah.
Honestly, that would be great. And they could probably get around some trolls by using like facial recognition software, because I'm sure people would try to troll and like do something weird. But honestly, people would probably take a picture of like Hitler and do stupid shit, but that's not really that.
Or like take a picture of their genitalia with their glasses on it.
Yeah, something like that.
No one ever tried to do that.
No. But honestly, if they do some kind of, I'm sure the technology exists where they could like get that stuff out. I don't know, and then just have your face. That would be so funny, dude.
There was so much like that in 360. Yeah, they kind of just abandoned that.
I'm sure because of the issues again. Same thing, proximity chat. I mean, dude, I get a question about proximity chat on my YouTube channel in the stream like every single day, dude, about PUBG adding proximity chat. And you guys remember what game had that? Was it Halo, where you like kill someone? Yeah, in Halo, when you killed them, you could hear them cursing.
And Call of Duty too.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Dude, I love that. You'd kill, but now no one's in game chat anymore anyway, so you wouldn't hear everyone's in party chat, so it doesn't even really matter. But those were the days, man. You would
hear playing solo PUBG, you would hear it.
Oh yeah. Solo, you definitely would hear it in solo.
Yeah,
but that's the best. You just like go kill whatever Mike 222, and it's like the dude screams every time he dies.
Yeah. But what's crazy about the what's crazy about the proximity chat though is you could talk to other people, which you could never do in Halo or Call of Duty. So like you could be behind somebody and be like, hey, and then the person's like freaking out, like in front of you. Yeah, honestly,
those are the best. Watching some of those videos of like some of those people play on PC and the talking, or like when I said I was playing that one day on PC and the guy was yelling at us like on the other team, going, "You're stupid Americans!" And yeah, just like screaming at us. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, honestly, Andrew and I had such a great time doing that, dude. We were talking to random people online.
Dude, Matt, you gotta get, honestly, if you can get a PC to play PUBG on, it's like almost worth the $30 just to like be online and talk to random people in the proximity chat. It's so funny.
Yeah, is that why you built your computer?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just doing that for PUBG and just talking to people online, make friends.
Oh, have you tell everybody in the podcast, because we had part 1 of the PC build and part 2, like how does you played a couple games, you said, and it was like running nice and smooth and stuff.
And it doesn't even have to like try. Like PUBG's like graphics aren't even like don't even turn on the GPU fans, I think.
That's awesome.
It's not really trying. So I think I'm gonna buy Anthem when it comes out on PC. Unless some people are gonna buy it on Xbox or something to play with. But that game is like supposed to be EA's version of Destiny.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in that, and if that game like has some really good ratings on the graphics and everything, so I figure I'll download that and take it for a spin.
Yeah, so I've heard like everybody talking about this game, and honestly, I'm kind of sleeping on it. I watched like trailers or whatever like a long time ago because this game's been the name
Yeah,
Anthem or EA's Destiny has been floating around for like a long
they've been
time.
they've been dragging it. They showed this at E3 in like 2017, and I was like, oh, this should be coming out in this winter, and I looked, it's like winter 2019. I was like, oh my god, you guys are crazy.
Is it for Xbox or is it PC too?
It's gonna be PC and Xbox. It's all over. So
it's a PUBG or no?
PlayStation 2, right? Like all platforms? Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all platforms.
All
PlayStation
platforms.
4.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
platforms.
Anthem is just it's really similar to Destiny. It's just like an EA version of it.
Oh, okay.
So you might like it though. You know what I mean? You should definitely check it out. It's I think it's not gonna be as like, you know, like you get like, you know, you're not going to be collecting Spirit Bloom. I think it's more like you complete missions, you can get like armor for your thing that you're wearing. I can't remember what it's called. It's called the Javelin or something. So you could like level up your Javelin, but you're not really doing like you're not just like grindy, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. But definitely check out the YouTube videos. It looks so awesome. If that, you know, if that's the kind of game you're into.
Wow, this is crazy. So it's being made by EA Games, but it's also being developed by BioWare. So they said
It's a
that,
BioWare game. Yeah.
yeah, which for everybody that doesn't know, they make Mass Effect. I know a lot of people, this big fan base behind Mass
Dragon
Effect.
Age.
Yeah. And they were saying that development in this game started in 2012, immediately after the release of Mass Effect 3. And then it looks like it ramped up in like 2014. And then obviously probably the past couple of years, they've been like really working on it. But what's crazy is I'm reading the description here, and I can't believe they did this, man. Like you said, there's javelins, which is kind of like classes. And they showed two, they said javelin classes during the E3 conference, and that it's a 3-person party, which is literally a straight rip off of Destiny, because that was like the first game I ever saw that went to like 3 players instead of like 2 or 4. So that's kind of a weird rip off.
What do you mean
like.
they went to 3 players?
Like the party size is 3.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a
Same
Destiny
as
thing,
Destiny.
isn't it? Yeah, that's
Destiny's 4.
And Destiny 1, it was just 3, wasn't it? Wasn't it just maxed out at 3?
No, it was 4.
Are you sure? Let's see. I'm gonna Google it. Destiny. I'm pretty sure Destiny. I thought Destiny had a max party size of just 3 people, because I remember I thought there was always like issues with that.
Yeah, Destiny had 3. I thought, oh, 4? No, because I thought it was 3 because like the first Destiny. I remember when you did the raid, it was 6, which was like a weird number because it was like, I thought it was 3 for Destiny.
Destiny lobby
For just like the
size.
co-op, for the co-op,
For
for
co-op, yeah.
online,
Oh, maybe you're right.
for co-op. I'm not sure about
dude. Okay, that's why. Because in they changed it for Destiny 2. So in Destiny 1, the group size was 3. In Destiny 2, for PvP was 4. For PvE was still 3. And then for raids it was 6.
It's 6.
For
yeah.
PvP it's 4, and for the raids it was 6. But yeah, the regular party size for missions was only 3 people, which was, I mean, that's fine. You know, it's just like, I can't believe EA. And honestly, after all the stuff EA has done recently, dude, like they kind of had a lot of issues with all the games they've been releasing, and they dropped the ball in Battlefield 5. I mean, that got like delayed, and then there's no Battle Royale, which honestly, I mean, that doesn't matter. But you know, if they're gonna announce Battle Royale, they should at least have it out by now.
Dude, they do that stuff all the time.
Dennis, you got Battlefield 5, didn't you? Or no?
Yeah, I
mean,
like
the game
it.
is
It's just
sick.
that it's amazing graphics. Honestly, it's probably the best. It's actually, I was looking at games with the best graphics for PC, and Battlefield 5 was like top of the list. But it's just like
it looks
it's
awesome.
just not great. It's just like they're missing a lot of content, I feel like. Which is the same thing. Battlefield 1, they're like, we're gonna build a competitive platform for Battlefield 1, and they never did that. And now they're like, we'll do Battle Royale, and this is probably never gonna happen. It's whatever. I'm kind of just not gonna worry about it because I haven't been playing it. But you know, I when I'm trying to play PUBG.
Yeah, and they talked a big game for Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead just dropped like a mini battle royale with like 10 players or whatever it was. I think it's not even 10, or I don't even know the amount. Is it 20? I'm not sure. Don't quote me, and I'm not going to Google it right now. But they dropped
battle royale.
Yeah, they dropped like a mini battle royale game, and like no one's even talking about it. And then I heard somebody said that like that it's kind of like dropped the ball. Like after the storyline, people just kind of like moved on from like Red Dead.
See, I never bought Red Dead to play competitive. I always just bought it for the story.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what Red Dead is known for, right?
Known for, yeah, not the story.
I feel like
you know what
that's yeah. They should just expand on the story. Like, why are they going out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, make more missions. Do something else. Do like what they do with Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I think they're trying to make it like Grand Theft Auto Online, which became so successful that like Grand Theft Auto Online makes more money than like most games now, and Grand Theft Auto 5 didn't even come out. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out what? Yeah, in 2013. In 2013, it still makes more money than like most games because of the online, which is honestly insane.
Yeah,
So,
true.
I think they were trying to. I think they were trying to do that. And
It's just crazy
monetize
the
it.
amount of the people that buy like skins, and it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't quite get it either.
Like Fortnite, like $100, like kids just shell out like crazy. It's just
Yeah, I mean, who
yeah.
buys like a clown skin in PUBG? You know what I mean?
No, that too.
Honestly, I don't get it for PUBG because it's like the costumes aren't that great. But like in League of Legends, I 100% get it. I always say that, man. And I bought the clown costume, so I know it's hypocritical, but I just
Oh no, I'm kidding. With
I know you guys are just busting my balls, but I always say, for the stream, I think it's great, and I do like cosmetics up to a point. But for League of Legends, I mean, like for example, I know you guys didn't play that game, but one of the sickest things they did, and you play as a character so often that you start to like really enjoy this character. And you're like, oh, you want to have this thing. This one character is like it has like they're almost like in a there's like a platform in front of them, or like they're kind of like a floating thing with like a desk in front of them. I don't know how to describe it. And they have all these different skins, and one of them is like they're playing an arcade system in front of them, and they literally did one where they made them be like a DJ, and they had Bass Nectar actually make like 3 songs that play off the skin when you're playing, and there's like a light system, and there's like a disco
Really?
light. Yeah, so like when you're playing the game, everyone that's around you hears the Bass Nectar song playing in the game when you're wearing that skin, and that skin costs like $15 or something. You know what I mean? And that's like the most expensive skin you can buy in the game, and it's so detailed that like if you have that skin, it's sick. And people always will be like, dude, nice skin. Like, that's cool you bought that. And the game is free. So then, like, if you pay $15, you're like, oh, I only paid $15. So that I love, man. And PUBG could do cool stuff like that, but they're not, I mean.
So is PUBG still only $30?
Yeah, but that's what people don't like, though, because it still costs money, and PUBG's moving to a
runs
free-to-play.
like shit.
They're moving to a free-to-pay model, and it still runs bad. So they're saying that, like, it's not fair that you guys do. Like, Fortnite, it's the same thing. Like, you don't have to buy all those skins, but the game is free.
PUBG's running, switching to a free server or free.
No, but the way they're adding the skins is like it's gonna be free.
Oh,
to
it's
play.
gonna be free. Yeah.
But it's not. You know what I'm saying? They're saying if you're gonna do this thing where you're doing like if you're gonna be charging all this money for cosmetics, and like they do, it's crazy. They charge like $4 or $5 for a weapon skin, dude. That's like red. You know?
Yeah.
Like that is honestly just a straight ripoff. Like that's a joke. Like that shouldn't even cost money. Or if it costs money, it should be 49 cents. You know, they literally just like right clicked on it and made it red. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like they need to hook the OG players up with something that have been around since day one, like myself, playing through Clay and everything else.
yeah, straight Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Still, man, even for me and Andrew were laughing. We were getting in a car the other day. We were playing on Xbox One X SSD in the car. Just looked like straight garbage before we got in it.
Yeah, the wheels were square. You
It's
get in, it transforms into a normal car. It's like, what the hell?
yeah, it's like a Dreamcast, bro.
Shape shifting on us is like, dude. When I was walking up to the car, I was like, it was a box of square wheels, like a Flint, like look like the Canadian cars in South Park where they have the square wheels. And everything.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's a Flintstone car. Honestly, I never thought about that. I'm gonna Google that right now. That's exactly what it looks like. Oh, except for
And I really think it looks like I'll send a picture of the
Canadian
Canadian
South Park.
cars from South Park, dude. It's hilarious. It's just square wheels.
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, that's. Dude, I'm gonna meme this right now and put it on Instagram. Honestly, this picture is so funny.
It's just so realistic, dude. It's exactly what it is. Like the rims are just like square.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you guys in this chat. I'm gonna take a picture of it. This is really funny, dude. Oh man, that's exactly what it looks like. But there you go. I mean, they need to work on that stuff. But either way, it's still like a really fun game. And what are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they keep making improvements, I'm okay with it. If they stop making improvements, then I guess I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, Yeah,
But
I'm just interested to see what the future will hold, especially because I've been, making like YouTube content for PUBG. I mean, we talk about it a lot on the podcast, and I made a video about like what's coming in 2019, and I'm gonna work on like a speculation video. I mean, just to highlight some of that stuff. Like I was looking it up today for the video, like what LMGs are out there in the world, and like what LMGs are currently used. And there's so many sick like LMGs that shoot 5.56 and 7.62 that could be put into the game, and like they have so much that could change, that could add like a whole other dimension to the game. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of cool. And I guess there's a lot of room for like new stuff, but they definitely need some new things. I don't even know if new guns would make a huge difference, but they need something.
You know how they added the red circle when you're trying to like lean around something that you're going to shoot the thing in front of you and it puts the red circle?
Yeah.
That still is not 100% accurate. Like you still, clear for you to shoot, like you're shooting out a window, you'll still shoot the frame of the window, even though that's not telling you that you're going to hit the frame of the window, and it looks clear that you're not going to hit it.
Yeah,
there's just so much like small things that need to be fixed.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And in Call of Duty, this is an interesting thing too. I remember reading that like in Call of Duty, if you could see something, you would shoot it. So they would say like realistically, you're holding the gun, say like by your chest, but in Call of Duty, you would shoot out of your eyes. Like that's how the game was like reading the bullet, was out of like your head, because they wanted to make sure that where you saw is where you shoot. And you're right. PUBG has an issue where even when you're like for aiming first person and you're nowhere near the bottom of the window, sometimes you'll shoot and you're hitting the window and you're like, dude, I'm nowhere near the window. Yeah, you're totally right. There's like a huge issue with that, which is a character model issue, I guess, or where the bullet is actually leaving from is lower than it should be, or something like that.
Or when you shoot through like the railings of stairs and it's like actually like an armored shield. You can't shoot through them. It's like
chain link fences and stuff.
Dude, the fences and the chicken wire and like small things like that are so problematic in this game, dude. Like you can't shoot through any of that stuff at all.
Dude, just get rid of them. Like, who cares? They don't need to be there. Just get rid of them. It's so annoying. The guy runs up the stairs and kills you because you can't shoot through the stair railings.
Yeah, it's so weird. But you wouldn't want to get rid of all the fences in the game, though, right? Because sometimes those give you like a little bit of protection, I guess. But like, I know what you're saying. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing that they have issues with that. But it is crazy, dude. And recently, because it must be, I don't know if it's because people are getting tired of Call of Duty or whatnot, but we normally did this on every episode of the podcast, but I've kind of stopped. I've been checking Call of Duty. I mean, like what games are more popular on Twitch and YouTube still. And recently, PUBG has been like a lot higher in like the top 2. Like they were like the top game the other day all over the place. But you know what it is? So I'm checking now and they're really low. But when you wake up in the morning and you check, when I wake up in the morning and I check, they're really high. And I think it's because, dude, PUBG is insanely popular right now. Like in Europe and like in India and stuff, dude. I don't know. I think it's because it's free to play on mobile and the mobile game took off. But you remember I was trending one time in India on YouTube for PUBG. And so many people, and I remember I checked the other morning and everyone was playing in Hindi, so it's super popular over there, and not as much in like the U.S. as much as it used to be, I guess.
Yeah, we just get over things faster, I guess, here.
Yeah, look at this. Wow, PUBG right now isn't even in like the top 20. So like but then again, it depends. Like some people, it depends who's streaming. But right now it's pretty low on Twitch at least.
Yeah, I feel like one guy can get on and change like the whole thing right now,
Yeah, if one of those people switched to PUBG, it would totally change everything.
Do you think they should switch it to bigger groups, like a 6-man team?
Ooh, like I don't know, man. I don't think they need to. Personally, I don't think they need to do that. I mean, they could test it out, in the event modes. I feel like we haven't had an event mode in a little while. And I'd like to see some more battle royale event modes instead of just the team deathmatch. But
because you know how we're so used to like Sandhawk and the action and everything, and then we go play like Miramar, and you won't see someone for like the final 2 circles. But you know what I mean?
I think
it's like so much a slower game pace.
I think the first circle should be smaller on Erangel and Miramar. I think that would fix it a lot.
Kind of like how it is in Vikendi.
Yeah, like the first circle is way smaller, and then the first couple circles move a little bit faster. Because in the end, if it's slow, it's fine because it's intense, and that's no big deal. But in the beginning, the circle should be moving a lot faster. The next rounds, I feel like you should land, loot, and then you should have to be on your way, and then it should be crazy until like you're in a very small, not small, super small, but you're in a relatively small size circle, and then that's when like the movement and real kind of crazy strategy starts in like intense moments. But I feel
remember we used to say that the circle should adjust to how many players are either dead or in the circle compared to outside the circle and everything of that nature.
Yeah, that would be
Wasn't Vikendi doing that?
I don't think they have like a smart circle. No, the Vikendi just speeds up. It starts off fast and then it slows
Smaller,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, but they're not doing like a smart circle because sometimes like, you'll get into a match and like 30 people die off the bat because everybody hot dropped, and in those games, they should have some kind of smart circle where they're like, okay, we're going to skip the first circle or something. We're going to go right to the second circle.
Yeah.
Or like have a formula. It doesn't even have to be smart. Like if there's only 50 people left, it goes right to the circle. Or there's only 30 people left, it goes right to the circle. Or I don't know. Something like that.
No, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. We're spoiled. We're spoiled by Sandhawk. That's what.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love Sandhawk. And I was saying, hot take, I could even go for one map that's smaller than Sandhawk, dude. How crazy would that be? That would be so much fun.
That'd be a little crazy.
I think it'd be a little hectic. I wouldn't mind. I think trying out 6-person squads would be kind of cool just to see what it's like.
Yeah, that would
I don't think it would be too bad.
No. I think like the bigger squads make it you have to be more strategic even than like duos and stuff like that.
I mean, think of the boats. The boats can sit more than 4 people. The van and Miramar can sit more than 4 people. It's just be a little tweaking.
Yeah, I mean, you could just make the the Jeep sit 6 people. You know what I mean? Just have like
5. Yeah,
middle seats, shotgun middle seat. Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Or you see someone sitting on someone's lap.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, it's just it would be kind of cool just to like do it. Didn't like Fortnite do like squads of 20 or something like that?
Yeah, even on PC they've done that. They've done for PUBG. I think they've done like 50-50 mode. Like that's a Fortnite mode, and also I think they did that on PUBG PC. And there's been 20 squads. They've done crazy things, but PUBG can't handle that stuff on console, dude. It would just crash. Like imagine running with 30 people next to you, like into a battle or something. I don't know.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the desync when you're driving is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine that, dude.
I still think it would be sick if they eventually did a game where you can't get out of your car. And like you spawn like with ammo or some kind of track like they added in like there's the training mode and there's like tracks like if you just had a training mode track and you couldn't get out of your car and you just drove around and had to like road rash style shooting people. That'd be fun, man. I don't know how long that would last. Maybe that would just be like a quick gimmick, but it'd be pretty fun.
Well, like we said, like there was like they should put in a helicopter, kind of like how Blackout has a helicopter. Yeah, if you have the flare.
Yeah, that would be super interesting. The helicopter, like I said, I'm gonna work on a video with all that stuff. Like they definitely have room for a lot of crazy stuff like that. Like that.
Aren't they coming with a riot shield, and aren't they having rockets or no?
Yeah,
the riot shield.
Nothing about rockets that hasn't been announced, but the riot shield was in a trailer that's supposed to be out eventually, but they word on it. There's the riot shield, and then what's the other big thing that's coming into the game? Night vision, and then C4. C4 is supposed to be coming.
Night vision.
Well, like it's supposed to get dark.
Night mode, yeah, night mode.
Oh,
yeah,
night mode.
There's gonna be like it'll get dark in the middle of the game or something like that.
Yeah, but I guess mobile has night vision, so some people are thinking that might eventually come where you could get. But to me, night vision would be so OP. I've used night vision in real life, and if you see someone's like eyeballs, they light up. So like, that would be so you could spot people so fast with night vision.
Yeah, I don't know if they would actually bother to do that, but.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever came to my house when I had literally a pair of like night vision.
Was it for Call of Duty?
No, I owned it like in real life, but I don't know if it was in Call of Duty. I know Rainbow Six probably had
one
of those Vegas.
You got it. Didn't you get it with Call of Duty, the Elite package?
No. That was like that did come with one of the Call of Duty things, but I had this way back when we were like in 8th grade, man. Before we played a lot of Call of Duty. Yeah, I got like a. It looked like a video camera, but it was just one night vision lens. And when we would play airsoft and like
airsoft,
Army, I would like pull it out sometimes, and it was just like you could look at it with one eye, and honestly, you could see like if someone looked even in your direction, like even down the street, like a light would shine, you know, like it magnifies all of the light. So like anything that's white or reflective at all, like just pops so well. You could easily spot anybody. It was pretty sick. And that was back, what, 15 years ago.
Oh, so you're admitting you're cheating during airsoft.
Oh
okay.
yeah. I mean, I always cheat. I had in some capacity, I had that Uzi and, you know.
Nobody cheated more than Max. Let's be real.
Yeah, true. That's true. I always felt like I was putting myself at some kind of advantage. You guys were all using like the pump guns, and I was like, screw this. I'm gonna get the gun with the CO2.
Gas. I remember a lot of people with the green gas, and then who got like the
Maggio got CO2.
Yeah, dude, he shot me with that thing, and I was like, oh, dude. This is not even fun. I remember it like left a welt for like a week. I was like, this isn't cool.
I think remember when Tom shot Max and Max chokeslammed.
Oh yeah, I remember that, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. A lot of good times playing airsoft. I don't know if you guys did that out there, but me and these guys and some of our other friends when we were in like middle school.
A lot.
Yeah, we'd play Connors all the time. So we had a buddy who like he had a big house and like a kind of like decent sized property. And for I think most people know what airsoft is, but if you guys don't, it's like it's like a plastic BB gun. You know, most of them, the basic ones, are just pistols or shotguns, and you just cock it back one time. You have a clip, and every time you cock it back, it loads a little plastic BB, and then you shoot it. And the pistols and the shotguns aren't very powerful or like fast, so like the bullets kind of just, if it's windy out, like, you know, the thing just like goes, it curves. But then once you get into like more the stronger ones, or it has like a stronger spring, or you get like a rifle, or you get a one with gas, I mean, those things are putting down heat, dude. The ones with gas can like definitely, I don't know if it would definitely almost break skin. I think some of the gas ones would.
Oh, they definitely broke skin.
The CO2 one definitely broke skin.
Maggio would make us bleed all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely not as dangerous as a metal one, but pretty close if you got the gas in it. Some of those plastic ones were pretty serious.
Dude, the CO2 one was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, and I remember I would just spend hours online looking at guns online.
Yeah.
And then we had the cops call on us that one time, and they were like, they were saying our guns look too real to be outside.
They're comparing them to the real guns.
We get them at Collingswood auction.
Yeah, that's where we would go.
Shout out to Collingswood auction, honestly, in New Jersey.
It's still there. I wonder if the same people are selling airsoft guns. Maybe we'll go check it out.
Honestly, they probably are.
They're selling real guns underneath.
I drove past that like 2 years ago, dude. And I stopped in because I was like, "Oh my god, dude, Collingswood auction!" I forgot about it, and it was sad, man. It was a sad thing, but
it was
cool,
probably
cool
sad when we went there. We were just kids and we had no idea.
No, but I think as like I think Amazon, Amazon's hurting malls, dude. Check the auctions of the world. I mean, those places are really struggling.
Yeah,
like,
fair point.
At least back when we were younger, like it was every store was like filled up. Now, dude, it's like there's only like 10 stores still inside. Like most of them are empty. So
yeah, it's like Johnny who's bought the storage unit down at the street. Came with all like pairs of shoes and jeans. It's nothing like.
Yeah, they
don't sell anything good anymore.
They still had the Army Navy store though, which had like awesome stuff, and the stuff there. I walked into that place and they had so much cool stuff.
And the Asian knife dude and the sword dude.
Yeah, they still had some of those people were still there. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, they're gonna be there forever.
Yeah, but those are the good old days playing airsoft, man. I missed that. And honestly, I have my, I've been moving a lot in the past, 10 years, especially with college and stuff. And I've held on. I got rid of most of those things, but I held on to my gas Uzi, my green gas Uzi, just for fun. But like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna use this again because it's not like something that you would. I mean, it's powerful enough, I guess, to shoot at a target. It's not like I'm gonna shoot. You guys are gonna come over my house. I'm gonna shoot you guys for fun. We're like 30 now.
I wouldn't be mad. I'd be mad for a minute, but then I'd laugh.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do with it. Like, do I throw it out or do I keep
it? I still have mine. I have mine, and mine's a spring one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just actually Amazoned airsoft guns, and like they're only like $60 for a gas one. I feel like when I was younger, it was like $100 for something.
Oh, no, they were definitely in the hundreds range, but also like $60 back then was like way different than it is now. But you're right. There's no way mine was like 60. I think mine was like 120, but still, that's not terrible. But when we were younger, like 120 for an airsoft gun was like not achievable.
Oh, dude, this one I just see is like 400 feet per second, and it's CO2. Jesus. This is what we were getting shot with.
Dude, honestly, for everybody here, you guys, if you want something to watch before you go to bed tonight, if you look up like people playing airsoft in like Europe, they're like legit playing PUBG outside, and they have like these crazy leagues where they play like in abandoned like warehouses and stuff, and like these huge properties, dude. And they're playing with these sick weapons, and it literally looks like they're playing PUBG squads. And they literally do that. They're like, you know, four teams, and they all wear GoPros. Dude, you got to check out. I might have to send you guys one of these videos. I was watching one night before I went to bed, and I was like, dude, this looks so much fun. It's
they're dead serious about it. There was one dude that I follow on Instagram. He's like a sniper and airsoft, and he always posts GoPro videos of that.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. This is crazy. And I Googled it, and look at this. It said it was first played in the 70s in Japan. Go figure, this is like a Japanese thing, but that's awesome.
That is kind of random. Dude, they have like sniper rifles with like full-blown scopes. It looks like there's like an AWM on here. 300 feet per second, dude. Oh my God. I kind of like want to go paintballing again. I would love to go paintballing.
Oh, dude. You know, our other buddy Bill, sorry we're throwing out a lot of names, guys, but this is more just a hangout podcast, I guess. But our buddy Bill said he never went before, and he wants me to take him. So we should definitely plan something. I don't know, like if it's bad timing now, like in the winter. But maybe it's good because it's cold, and like you could wear like more gear or
layers.
Something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the spring is good when it's just starting to turn. Yeah, because in the paint, it gets your skin's hard, and you just feel like everything hurts way more.
No, that's so true, dude. You don't want to like your hands are freezing.
I'm soft as hell now too.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, for some reason, every time I play paintball, I always get lit up in my hands, and getting shot in the neck,
in the hands.
Getting shot in the hands sucks, man.
It does suck. Matt, didn't you come with me and Chris? We went paintballing in Cousins or something like that in like Manahawk in New Jersey.
I think so.
Like, yeah, I remember that. I think all three of us went down there and we played like it was like only like 5 people there. We just shot each other the whole time.
Was that before or after he shit in a plastic?
I think it was after.
And how dare you throwing out full names? I'm gonna have to just for privacy's sake, I'm gonna mute his last name when I go back and listen to that.
I mean, that's not his full last name though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Honestly, dude, I forgot that was his full last name. Is it really?
I was trying not to say that.
Oh, but even on like Facebook and stuff, he's not that.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, because nobody knows him as.
I haven't seen him since like.
That is hilarious, dude.
Yeah, he's right. That's too funny. I was trying not to say it because after the whole privacy thing, I was like, yeah, true. And then Matt comes out and says it.
It's okay. I just mute it. That's hilarious, man. It's so crazy that you get. I mean, I knew that, but I forgot because you get used to someone's like, you know, that's like when someone has a different first name and you forget.
Yeah.
Like
that's
like
for the
Buck,
whole.
like Buck.
Who's that?
Everybody thinks like Buck.
Yeah.
Or Zungri. You know what I mean? Everyone don't know their first names.
Yeah, that's true, man. Sometimes I blank on I have a buddy like that, and I blanked on his name the other day. And I'm not gonna say who it was, but I just was blanking on his name. I don't even remember his name, and it was just weird. But so Matt, what do you think about this so far? This is like, I mean, this is, you know, we're just starting off, so it's nothing super serious. But what you, I know you listen to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts and other stuff, and so am I. I'm a huge podcast fan. Like, I mean, we did an hour. It goes by pretty fast, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've literally just been sitting here doing a puzzle and in a group chat. Yeah, so I mean, it definitely goes by quick, and it's good to just chat.
Yeah, it's cool just to chat. I mean, we've been like making it kind of video game related, but I definitely would like to, you know, get some other stuff involved too. But I think it's a good topic, and plus we're all gamers. It's kind of like a mutual thing that we always end up talking about anyways. I feel like when I go out to a bar, I mean, most of the time I end up talking about video games with somebody or something along the way because I get bored just standing there for so long, you know?
So going away from video games, who you guys rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a good question. We had the poll. We had the poll going on, just so everybody knows. I did a poll on Monday, seeing who people are rooting for. Yeah, and I'm gonna add a daily poll to the live stream, just just for fun, whatever. And so most people, 80, I think 50% of the votes went for the Patriots, and then the second place was the Chiefs with 33%. I know there's a lot of Patriots fans in the stream, so it's kind of tough, man. I didn't want to root for the Patriots. Honestly, I hate the Patriots, but after seeing all Tom Brady's posts on like Instagram, and he's going ham right now because he thinks like everyone hates them, which I guess they do, but he's getting like so hyped up, man. I kind of like vibe off his like aggression, but I think I'm going to be rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I hope it's Rams or Chiefs. Screw the Saints. Screw the Patriots.
I don't know. I would like to see the Saints win or the Rams. it's just kind of funny that the Rams actually are in this going like getting so close, and after they just moved away from St. Louis, that city was such a drain on them. Sorry to anyone from St. Louis, but it's just kind of funny. I hate their new uniforms though. Damn.
I don't mind the uniforms, but it's really frustrating that the helmet color doesn't match the uniform color.
I think that's my issue, is that the helmet, it's like the old color helmet, and then they have these baby blue uniforms, and I'm just like, what they run out of money? Like, they couldn't afford new helmets? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know how they let that happen. It's like annoying to look at, kind of. But yeah. It's not the end of the world, I guess, but it's just kind of weird. If you actually look at the old school uniforms, the blue matched the helmet, which totally makes sense. So I don't know why they wouldn't just go back to that old uniform.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Idiots.
Yeah, it is what it is. But the Chiefs have never won a Super Bowl, right? Is that true? Chiefs, no Super Bowl?
I don't believe so.
What's crazy is the Chiefs are... one of the, like they're one of the old school teams. And if you notice, like a lot of like old school people, like I know a lot of older people are like big Chiefs fans because they're like one of the original teams, I feel like. So they have like a big fan base, but they've never won. The Rams have won, the Saints have won, and I'm a Bucs fan, so it's hard to root for the Saints because they're in the same division. They've already won, but Drew Brees is good too, man. I mean, I kind of respect Drew Brees, and that would be his second Super Bowl, I think.
They had a good game on Sunday. I thought they looked good. Against the Eagles.
Yeah, I watched that whole game, man. I didn't watch a lot of football this season, so I wanted to just chill and like watch that because it's almost over and just like enjoy. So I watched like most of it. And I can't stop to think, like Drew Brees, he's got a big birthmark on his face. You guys know about that? Have you ever seen it? I can't.
How could you not know about it?
You just want to punch him in it.
There's this interview where the interviewee lady goes like, "Oh, excuse me, like I'm sorry, you have something on your face," and she like keeps mentioning it. It's so awkward.
Oh my god, was he just like, "That's my face"?
Yeah, I don't.
Was she doing it as like a gag or?
No. Like she didn't know.
Really stupid.
God.
Yeah, it's like one of those like cringe interviews where.
That's why I shouldn't have female sportscasts.
Dude, they had the first female ref in the playoffs.
I know, playoffs. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, wow.
It's all downhill from there.
Wow, there you go. Hot take. That's hilarious, dude. That's funny, man. I would love to see you on a national stage, like a national podcast, and then just like say ridiculous stuff.
Me? Oh, God.
Yeah, you need to go on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Like if Rogan let me on? Oh, my God. It'd be trouble.
That would just be too funny, man. Same thing with streaming, dude. You would be so good, but then you would immediately get kicked off YouTube.
Yep. But yeah, you're banned. Sorry.
Yeah. That's why you have backup Xbox Live accounts.
So, Dennis, how much did you pay for your computer build? If you don't mind me asking.
It came out.
Yeah, people were asking, dude, and I was giving them like rough estimates. I really didn't know.
It's like $1,400. I mean, I'm sitting here staring at my keyboard as it just like makes cool colors, and it's just like hypnotizing. That was probably the cheapest, like that, like for $60 is like the best investment. So if you ever get a cheap PC, just go buy a cool keyboard and you'll be happy.
Yeah, that stuff goes a long way. And honestly, that keyboard is sick, dude. Andrew sent me a picture, and it was doing rainbow colors, and then he made it look like a fire, like a fire was burning.
It's definitely like, I mean, the thing is, like, if you wanted to build a PC, like as something to do, Matt, you could definitely go on PC Picker and make something at your price point that would be able to do pretty much play any game for sure and be in your price point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I went a little bit heavier on like the graphics card. Like maybe the longevity won't be great. But like if you get a really good motherboard and then you get like, you kind of like you could make something like for $800 that will do really well and last you a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a fun process to build one too. You know what I mean? But you could also go on NZXT and get an $800 one or $700 one.
I have problems when I get extra cash. I like to buy guns. So
yeah, you do, man. You got to lay off that. I mean, I guess it's a good hobby. I mean, those things don't really go anywhere.
No.
But I do see you I do see you posting Instagrams of like new pistols and weapons you're always like purchasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to shoot.
But doesn't at a certain point, like you can only use them every once in a while? So like, doesn't it feel like one of those
but
things
see,
where-
I don't have any of the same like aspects of guns. You know what I mean? I don't have like two ARs. I have, you know what I mean? They're all for different reasons.
I got
Like
you.
the new pistol I just bought is for my concealed, so I can fit it in my vest when I work.
Okay, you got a 9mm micro
Yeah.
STG.
Yeah, it's a Kimber micro, so it's like this. It's a little bit bigger than my palm, so I can fit it in my vest without it being bulky.
Wow, that's crazy. And, yeah,
And then
did you go shoot at the range yet and practice with it? Or
Yeah,
not
I
really?
shot it the second day I got it, which I'm so used to my CZ that I shoot my CZ like really good. I can hit the same spot over and over again, and then I shot this one, and it's like I'm not very good with it yet. So
Well,
it's
is
just
I mean, I don't know that much. I mean, I've been shooting many times and I've shot many guns, but like, isn't a smaller pistol a little bit harder to shoot because there's like, it's not really distributing the like recoil as much, so like it's a little bit harder.
so it's a so this Kimber is steel, so it's heavier. So it's
Okay.
not as bad as like shooting a polymer pistol where there's no weight to it and it's all over the place. So it kind of bounces back to its same thing, but the trigger pull is different. You have to kind of pull straight back instead of like my CZ. I can put more finger on it and not have to worry about such an accurate trigger pull because it's just different. It's just different ways to put your finger on the trigger, I guess. But the micro, I have to pull straight back the trigger, and my CZ, I can kind of
Oh, I see what you're saying because
Or
most like
finger.
it looks like this micro trigger, like the trigger's really wide on it or like
Mm.
thick or like
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture of it, so I see like if you push down, it's kind of like a gas pedal. Like on a gas pedal, you can normally like you don't have to have your whole foot on it to push it down. You kind of like tap it, but on this, it looks like you have to push it directly back for it to fire. I see what you're saying.
yeah.
I kind of see it just looking at the image of it.
Because if you put too much finger on it, then you're going to push. Well, I'm a lefty, so I'm going to push the gun more right, and I'm going to be off target because there's too much finger on it. You know what I mean? So instead of pulling straight back and having it fire straight,
You're pushing it kind of to the right. If you were right-handed, you'd be kind of
You'd
pushing
push
it
it
to the
left.
left a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, I never really
exactly.
thought about that. That's what's so complicated about shooting a gun so accurately, like a pistol. Because with an AR or something like that, it's in your shoulder or something, right? But when you have a
it's
pistol,
easy.
when you go to fire, that's like when you make the wrong like adjustment. You like point it down or up or to the left or something.
It's just
Yeah.
It's just like that squeezing motion in your hand kind of actually jerks your hand a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, it's so hard to be accurate with a pistol, dude. I've never been very accurate shooting pistols before. I'm not that good at it.
So like my main pistol that I carry with, I'm real consistent with, and I can get really good groupings. And then this new one, I'm very inconsistent.
Wow, it's good that you're being a responsible animal detective, dude. Honestly, I'm proud of you. No, that's good. That's
Thanks,
crazy.
bro.
Did you have to, or you just elect to wear like have a gun with you?
I don't have to know. I like to
I gotcha.
because I've been
No,
into some
you don't need to
crazy
tell me
shit.
why. You don't need to tell me why, dude. I just thought maybe it was like mandatory at your point because you had to deal with some crazy situations.
I was actually had to call the other day, and a guy had a pistol in his pocket. So it's just
And do you think he had a license to do that, or he just
he
had it in his
he did
pocket?
because I called police backup, and they came out and
Wow.
they ran him and stuff, and he did
Did
have
he
a
say
license.
something to you, or you just kind of peeped it in his pocket and were like, oh, okay.
No, I just peeped it in his pocket, and then he was really irate with me when I showed up. So I was like,
Wow.
let me go run your name. So I went and ran his name, and as I was like pretending to run his name and wait for it to come back, I called police to come give me backup.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much help.
And you're like,
This gun's bigger than mine.
you're like, I got a guy at 250 at Pachinki. We got another guy at 230, and
Yeah.
we're gonna need backup here.
Exactly. So it gets crazy. It's a good. I like the job though. So
That's good,
Yeah.
man.
That's always good.
pet detective.
Yeah, that helps a lot, man. It helps to like it. And I don't know how you do some of that stuff, but major props to you, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
And that's good, dude. I'm glad you got that for protection, man, because you don't know when people are gonna get crazy, dude. Honestly. So, especially when you're like in that kind of field, man, of the law, you don't know what's gonna go down.
Well, my first week as I was riding along, I got assaulted. Like when I first got hired.
Oh yeah.
Did you? I don't think you told me
Yeah.
that.
I think
Yeah,
I
so-
remember this.
Yeah. Well, the kid, he was like trying to fight me, and I was like, "Do what you gotta do." He's like, "You're gonna go to jail over something stupid, over an animal," and then he actually ended up getting got her probation for a year over
Oh,
just touching me.
wow. You might have told me that, but damn, that's crazy.
You
Just
touched
dumb
me.
shit. You touched me.
Don't
Exactly.
touch me. Don't touch me, bro.
That's my no spot. Don't touch me.
He invaded your safe space. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets pretty nuts. I mean, I'm not in the best area, and it's pretty ghetto. So
Yeah.
That is crazy, dude. But that's cool, dude. And where do you go? You just go to a shooting range by your house?
I do have I'm part of a membership club at a range, but there's an outdoor range like about 20 minutes from me that I go to all the time because it's basically free, and it's up to 100 yards. So I bring my rifles out there, and they have pistol ranges, 6, 7, and 9-yard pistol ranges, and a
Oh,
50-yard range and a 100-yard range.
oh
That's pretty
wow.
cool.
That's pretty cool. When I went to go visit our buddy Dan, shout out to Hugh Janus on Xbox. Yes, that's his gamer tag, Hugh Janus. He took me to my first outdoor range because you don't find those in like Jersey,
I
and
don't think they are in
they're
NJ.
probably not even allowed, are they? I have no idea.
I
And
don't think
They do actually have some in Farmingdale, I believe.
I
okay.
think they're only for
Out there.
police though, aren't they, or something weird?
Yeah, they might be. I don't know because I've never seen one
Whatever.
available. Anyways,
Yeah.
I went to my first outdoor range and it was an interesting experience. And honestly, what was so crazy is it was one of those ranges where like you didn't need to like there was nobody there. There was like one person that would come out occasionally and like check on everybody and like call a pause and make sure everyone's like was like following proper like procedure. But you would just like show up and like just shoot your guns and it was kind of
Yeah.
it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but then I thought like, oh, this is kind of responsible, I guess. Like everyone's just being respectful of one another, but it kind of did freak me out because I felt like you could just like something crazy could happen. I don't know. It felt a little bit more
So
sketchy.
I brought my brother to an indoor range, the one that I'm a member to, and basically indoor ranges are waiting to get shot. So my brother and I almost got shot at the indoor range because
Like a
this
ricochet or something, or
this kid was like retarded and was showing this guy this pistol out the outside. There's a door. There's a bunch of the shooting range stalls, and we were in like the second to last stall, and he was at the door behind us showing a guy his pistol, and she was showing him it and pulled the trigger, and it shot and hit the ground. If he was facing the other way, he would have shot my brother and myself.
oh my god, dude, are you kidding me?
But he was facing the other way, so he shot towards the outside instead of towards the inside of the building.
Yeah, but what person was showing someone a gun without the safety on? Honestly, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Taking
saying.
out the magazine.
So when
dude.
you go to an outdoor range, everybody there has, expensive ass guns. They're either ex-military. You know what I mean? You don't really. When you go to an indoor range, you can rent guns, so you get a bunch of amateurs. When you go to an outdoor range, you have to bring your own gun. So you're usually dealing with people that know what they're doing.
I see. It's almost like the other way around. Yeah, because if
Yeah.
you're going to an outdoor range, you're serious. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
interesting.
it makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
honestly
so-
kind of scary.
Yeah. It
Oh
gets,
my god, dude! Were you guys talking about like that the whole rest of the
Dude,
time? Like,
my brother was like, some of them, they're in the indoor range. There's no rapid fire, so my brother was shooting my AR, and he was like rapid firing a little bit. And the kids, the father, who's the one who almost shot us, was facing the other way, and his son goes to my brother, "No rapid fire." My brother turned around and goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It's like, you almost killed somebody, and you're gonna yell at me for rapid fire. And it was just like, it was just so ridiculous. My brother was like, "Never again will I go to an indoor range." He's like,
wow, dude, honestly, how do you have the audacity to say to somebody? Something
Yeah,
unless
I
you're doing
know.
something,
Meanwhile-
like unless you're doing like something seriously wrong. I mean, like tapping like rapid. You know, you're not really like.
it wasn't even rapid firing. It was just, faster than
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
My brother's like, "Never again will I go to an indoor range." Like, I don't blame
I
you.
see a lot of those ranges have that, but when I went shooting in Vegas, they didn't have any of those rapid fire rules, and they would let you be like, you could hold down the trigger and just like dump a whole clip if you want to.
Well, you
Yeah,
did full
Vegas.
auto. Weren't you shooting full auto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're
You
like
can't.
you can't do that in Jersey or just in an indoor
Well,
range?
you can't shoot full auto anywhere. You have to have a special permit to have a gun full
maybe.
auto.
Oh, well, maybe this was like 10, 15 years ago. I shot full auto in Vegas, and they were just like.
Well, I'm saying Vegas, you can get away with it. Like, they have the
Oh.
ranges out there, but here they don't have any full auto.
I see. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I was like in my teens, I would like I just would let it rip, dude. We'd go shoot an MP5. My dad lived out in Las Vegas, and we would just go to the shooting range all the time. And I feel like they had a lot less rules. Even they said they're like you can have like you can. They were kind of saying that they had less rules there. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. But I mean, they were still like there were still people watching us, so they were strict about it. But there was less rules about like what you could do and what you couldn't do, which I thought was kind of cool. And then obviously Jersey's like on the more strict side. And we were talking about this before, and we'll end this soon. But like, there's like I don't even really know anybody that has like a gun in New Jersey, but I know people in other states, have like concealed carries and weapons like that. And because we were talking with people in Texas, a lot of people who listen are in Texas and they have guns, and Matt has guns, but I don't know one person that has a gun in New Jersey. That's not like a, but that's not an officer. Cop. Yeah, that's not a cop. I know Connor had a shotgun.
Connor.
Yeah,
he has two. He has an M1 and
Okay. Yeah, Connor's the only person I know that has a gun that's not a police officer. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now they just made it so much more strict that.
Did they in New Jersey?
Yeah, they made it so you can't have any more than 10 rounds in magazines, at all, and any like between pistol and rifle. You have to have a fixed stock on your AR, so it can't be adjustable. You can't have a flash hider or a muzzle brake on your AR. It has to be just a normal muzzle.
Hold on, go over. You can't have more than a 10 magazine like clip or something, or what?
You can't have more than 10 rounds in your magazine. So either pistol, okay. You can't have anything. So all your magazines have to be pinned to only 10 rounds. So if you have anything more than that, then it's like a federal crime.
Oh my God. I get why they're doing that, because they say they don't want to have like a mass shooting, but like honestly, dude, that is crazy.
Does it really stop anybody if they're
No, because if they're going to do a mass shooting, they're just going to get a regular clip from Pennsylvania and then bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nobody, like, it's just
and really, does like an adjustable stock really make that big of a difference?
No, not at all.
No, I see the flash hider though. Like flash hider, I get it. Like, why do you need a flash hider? But like adjustable stock and the clip thing, I don't know. At a magazine count, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean, yeah, I feel like when people want to hurt people, they find a way.
And then like shotguns, like so if you have a semi-automatic shotgun where you don't have a pump, you can't have a pistol grip on it.
Oh, like wow. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just dumb laws, because I was looking into this because I was maybe going to move back home, but then I'd have to literally get rid of all my guns. So I'm like, I'm not moving back home.
Wow, you'd have to modify all your clips and stuff like that. Your magazines. Everything. I mean, people get mad when you say clips online. Yeah, my bad. Someone said that in one of my videos. They're like, it's magazines. I'm like, I know, dude, but come on, like everybody calls it a clip. It's like kind of an accepted term, but I know it's like a magazine. I get it, but yeah. All right, dude. Well, we could go on and on forever. We're almost at like an hour and a half now, and I know Andrew's got to get up early tomorrow. So sorry, we went a little late, Andrew. My bad. And we'll definitely have you back on. There's plenty of stuff we could always. There's always stuff we could talk about, especially with you two fools. So we'll definitely have to do this again. Thank you for coming on again, Matt. Yeah, so this is our 9th episode. I appreciate it, man. I almost wanted this to be like the 10th episode to celebrate it, but that's fine. We'll do something better, and we'll definitely get you back on.
Yeah, big difference.
But yeah, man, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. I know we were talking about a lot of like personal stuff, but I think we talked about a lot of stuff that you guys, PUBG and guns and airsoft and some fun things. So yeah, man, you guys got anything else you want to end it on here? Any last words?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Ooh, I like that. And Andrew, what do you want to say at the end here?
Thanks for my God damn it. Thanks for joining us in the final circle.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, peace.